Hey. I know I'm gone for long. I apologize. I apologize to those who are subscribers. Thank you for maintaining the subscription. And I am back with different kind of stories. So, guys, today I am going to talk about the difference between Canada and Australia. For those who want to come to Australia, this is Australia. And those ones who want to go to Canada, that's Canada. So guys, today I'm going to bring out the difference, and I'll majorly stay like on the side of Australia a lot. And yeah, let's see the difference. I want to apologize first that I haven't been on my YouTube for so long. I had like graduation, I had a lot of things taking place. You know, it's December and then January, February. It's a lot of things taking place. So sorry guys. Thank you for maintaining your subscription. Thank you for everything. Thank you so much. Yay. Thank you for the subscribers. Keep going on. Let's go with God. So today as I talk about how the difference between Canada and Australia. So I'll say, for example, about Australia. If you want to come to Australia, Australia is good. Australia is good in so many ways. It's good for international students, it's good for everyone. In terms of multiculturalism, Australia is good in multiculturalism. Even Canada as well is good in multiculturalism. But the thing is that with Australia, you can go like you can it in terms of payment, like money, you can $20. That's the lowest money you can get paid in terms of like working anywhere, like cleaning job and everything. So in terms of the money, the Australian currency remained the same almost. In like, for example, somebody who works in a higher paying job can earn the same money as that person who's doing a cleaning job. So there's no difference. So the money in Australia is just like on a flat rate, like it's between that maybe $20 to $30. No one earns more than that unless those ones who have experience for a long period of time. So that's when they get more money. And in terms of Canada, for what I know as far as I'm concerned, Canada they pay like highest money. Like I have a cousin who was telling me some stories about Canada, and she actually told me that Canada they pay like $15, which can be the highest amount of money, up to like $20. They feel that's high, but in Australia that's less money. That's like it's really hard to find people paying this amount of money at this time of like these years. But hardly when we people came to Australia, they used to pay them 15, and they used to $15 and below, and they used to see that was a large amount of money. So another thing about Australia, when you live in Australia, you feel safe, the environment, everything. There's a lot of work to do in Australia. When you look at works like you never lack a job, but the only difference that when you come to Australia for your first day, it's really hard to find a job. But if you find friends, you look for a job, you become a serious person, you come with a goals oriented thing, you can actually find a job. Like if you find those people can look for you, you find yourself being that focused in doing something that you've come for to Australia to do a certain thing, then you can actually find a job and you can be a richer person quicker. It depends on how you do it, but yeah, as much as like you apply for police clearance, there's some requirements. If you have friends, or when you come, if you don't have anyone around, you can always Google on what's the requirement as an international or as a tourist or as a what, so that you can get into jobs. Another thing about Australia is just in terms I say secure, the environment is very secure in terms of like, for example, there's always the climate. Our climate in as compared to the Canada, I think Canada they have snow, but in Australia we don't really have snow. As much as it becomes really cold in winter, but still it's not like really snowing, unless if there's other states that I haven't heard of. But yeah, to be sincere, it's just cold, and then actually you can regulate with the heat in the house and all that. But still, it's really suitable for those people who want to live in a country where it's not snowing. Yeah. And another thing in terms of Australia, everything is the government control everything. So there's not like in terms of like the theft and everything, but still no one can get away with anything. For example, in terms of money, your bank card and everything. For example, I lost my bank card like a few months ago, and I called one of my one of my banking that I was doing with, there was one called Commonwealth, and somebody took my bank card, used it for shopping, fueled their car. And when I called for I called the Commonwealth itself, I went to declare, and then after I declared, they say that they refund me my money. Yes, so I felt like this is a honest country. Why would somebody refund you money and they don't know about it? So yeah, they actually end up kind of finding those people because there's actually CCTV around everywhere, so you can't get away with theft or anything, even though you get out. But still, they'll still follow you, they'll still find out. Yeah, so it's a secure country. Another thing is, one of the best universities are in Australia. You can study in Australia, and when you study in Australia and you go to different countries, it's very recognized because it's one of the best offering courses, universities. And there's so many universities in Australia, and their system is very straightforward. There's nothing involved like money. For example, in my country where I come from in Kenya, some people pay for like certificates and they get away with it. But in Australia, there's a number, there's a form like you have to fill. It's called USI. That USI, you have to be, it has to be put on your certificate, so you can never get away. And as well with Australia, the more you study, the more money you get. For example, those ones who have already stayed in Australia, for example, the Australians themselves, a lot of them study, but some of them haven't gone to uni. So most in Australia, there's like certificates, diploma, and most of them have studied around those certificates, diploma, and all that. So, and then most international students who come to Australia, they come and do something like bachelor's, master's, and after that they get experience in the field and they start earning more money and getting to the next level. So yeah, so the moment they get to the next level, the higher pay they get and more experience they gain. So yeah, it's a flexible country. Even though there's a little bit of racism, you don't really see it and no one shows you a lot. But if the racism exists and you report it, it's dealt apparently. So you can never go wrong when you're in Australia. But Australia, to be one, Australia is very expensive in terms of living, in terms of money and everything. Everything we use in Australia is expensive, the air we breathe and everything. So when you come to Australia, you have to work for it. Life is real in here. You work like every day. You can never rest. There's a lot of jobs in work, aged care, disability, and all that other jobs that can give you money. So you have to work really hard because Australia is not a country to joke with. Not like waking up in the morning, you can go to work, my friend, you will be suffering. So yeah, Australia is different as compared to Canada. I think Canada, in terms of PR, you can get permanent residency quick in Canada, but in Australia it involves like a lot of process, and you have to get your work visa. Even if you get your work visa, you're still not gonna get your permanent residency. But in Canada, you can get your permanent residency by getting your under work visa or something. But in here, even though you get all those qualification and all that, but you have to meet through the point system where you get through your permanent residency like calculator. So that's it, depend with your age, if you've done the degree, you've done the English, which people, a lot of people get there through the English sometimes if you pass the English more. And if you're above 45 years of age, it's really hard to get your permanent residency. If you're above, like if you're between 25 and 36, you get really quick because the points there is a little bit more. And yeah, so yeah, Australia is good, as I can say so far, for those who wants to come to Australia. And those who wants to go to Canada, Canada is still fine, but yeah, you choose it wise. But for me, I would rather tell you come to Australia. But when you come to Australia, come work hard, because Australia is not really cheap to live and it's expensive. Welcome to Australia for those who want to come to Australia. For any question, please send me a text message or anything, or comment on my YouTube down, and I will definitely sort your comments up or reply to you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for watching.